ladies and gentlemen. Night before last, finally had a breakthrough in something that has not happened since October, November of last year. And that is me going to that specific spot back on my property, me doing a wood knock and then having interactions. That finally happened again. I've got it all, it's all recorded on a GoPro. You can't see anything. It's just going to be audio, but that's the first step now that they're back. Eventually I will start introducing, hopefully, more pieces of equipment and try to get them actually recorded, during these interactions. But to go back a little bit, October, November, 4 or 5 nights where I would go out there, do a wood knock, and then have like 10 minutes of them throwing things, breaking things, wood knocks, rock clacks, the whole 9 yards. The last time it happened, I took a whole bucket that was modified full of thermal cameras and tried to leave it out there. And then I retrieved it about an hour later. That was the very last time I had anything like that happen back there in that particular spot. I had been going out there after that for probably 3 months. I would try a couple nights a week and go to that spot, do a wood knock, and then nothing would happen. But I wasn't having activity near the house either. So I don't know why it stopped. All I know is it did. Then a couple months later, or a couple months ago, the activity has picked up again. I had set up that PlayStation back there with the stuffed animals, a couple other things. Nothing had ever been touched or moved. Then it changed the other night. How it all played out is I got a chem light or glow stick, walked back out to the spot to where I'd had the interactions, walked around with it, walked back to the PlayStation area, hung it up on a tree, left. The next day I go out there, that's when the frog's been moved, the raccoon's gone, and the chem light the branch it was hanging on had been broken, and it was laying on the ground, okay? So I thought, all right, they obviously, if it's them, they saw me holding this thing in my hand. Maybe it's because I was in that spot again. So night before last, I try to do the same thing. I go out there, I crack open the chem light, I do a wood knock. All I'm gonna do is walk around or hang out there for a few minutes. If they're in the area, they'll see me, walk back, place another one in the tree, try to see if it happens. Before that even happens though, before I leave the area, that's when I start having interactions. So the plan was to come out here like I did the night before. All I did was crack the chem light, shake it up, sit down here, and I took that stick and I did a wood knock. I sat here for just a couple minutes, and the first thing that happens is something lands over here. I can hear it. But I wasn't super convinced that it was something. I thought maybe something just fell out of a tree. It wasn't that loud. And then shortly after that, the next thing that happens is there's an obvious rock that hits over here. Now what? It sounds like a rock. What I didn't realize, there's going to be a lot in this video that I didn't pick up on. There was a lot more going on that I didn't hear. But at the same time that I heard something fall in that direction or hit the ground that sounded like a rock, there was also another, like a wood knock or something, kind of over here is what it sounded like. Shortly after that, I'm sitting down, and then something hits over there while I stand up. And then I hear movement, and I'm talking like close, like maybe where that rock is right there. It's super close. Now you can't see anything unfortunately in the video. All you can do is hear anything because I'm doing it, totally lights out. Well, you hear the movement and you hear me talk about it. What you don't see is me it's so close it kind of scares me a little bit, because I've got the chem light in my pocket and I reach in my pocket and pull it out real quick because it was so close. After that happens, shortly after that, there's the chirps that I've been talking about. That here over the past couple months, I figured out they were not birds. That is actually them communicating with each other. There's a couple of those that happen. My son calls because he's at summer camp, and I talk to him. And when I get off the phone with him, you can actually hear it. It sounds like it moves back. There's more chirping going on. There winds up being two of them, one over here and one over here. So I'm going to do this in, I don't know, a couple of parts. Right now, I'm going to include the main things that I've found so far. I think there's probably going to be more things. The more I go through it, the more I find. But I'm just going to show you guys the highlights of the things that are heard and the things that are happening, and then label them and loop them, okay? One thing to be aware of, it doesn't matter when it comes to audio stuff. You can't please everyone. It used to be where I have complaints that people said they can't hear what's going on. So I've been increasing the audio through the programs, like jacking it way up. And then a guy the other day said, "Hey man, I basically woke my roommate up the other day. The audio was so loud." And I'm like, good. Because, the complaint the other way is that people can't hear it, So just be aware that after I get done talking now and it goes to the audio or the video, GoPro video, from everything that happens, the volume's going to be loud. So be ready to adjust it. So just the highlights right now in this video. I'm going to put that up hopefully tonight. Then I'm going to post the whole 21 minutes, the entire GoPro video, for people who are interested in going over it on your own. And I'm probably going to wind up going back and then maybe finding more things, okay? But for right now, these are the main points of interest. The throws, a couple breaks, the definite walking, and this chirp sound is super important. It's probably one of the most important things that I've discovered since I've started doing this on my own property. The fact that they use this, it's almost a click type chirp that I can't reproduce. I just do a whistle. There's actually one point where I'm trying to mimic it and I just whistle, and there's one right after I whistle. Now, I don't know if that's a response or it's just a timing thing, but it's super obvious. And these are not birds. One thing hit the ground. Something moving in front of me. Same place where the rock came from. Hey, buddy.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Alright, bye.
Bye. Hey, psst. Did you hear the bird sound? Did you hear the bird sound? That is them. Same exact spot. That chirp. It's the same chirp I've been talking about. They do the same thing every time. I will show y'all tomorrow. But one always starts out to my right. And it's actually in between me and the house. That was another chirp off to my left. There's two of them out here and they're communicating with each other.